Hello, I'm Luke Nella and welcome to Best Replays of the Week. Today we have a bottom tier hero, an invader with perfect timing, and GoldNoob in a gold tank. Enjoy the show. First up we have GoldNoob PL from the EU region in the coveted Type 59 premium tank. The standard battle is fought over fjords with the Type on top tier. The first proper clash happens at the center of the map as GoldNoob and a platoon mate in a second type square off against a handful of enemies. The platoon mate is done for, but the fight goes on. GoldNoob fires off all his regular ammo and the type bounces and tanks everything the enemies can throw at it. The first premium round finishes off a premium heavy tank. The type's luck runs out and 2 hits in a row punch through the armor. In compensation, the second kill is claimed soon after. The Borsig stops to fight the type and makes itself an easy target for artillery. An enemy SPG manages to return fire, but it's quickly taken out by allies as well. The last enemy is too far to chase down, so GoldNoob parks the type in the capture circle and earns a pile of capture points while waiting for the game to end. Nicely played. The type's bouncy armor served it well, and it dished out a lot of damage. There are some snipers who choose a semi-automatic instead of a bolt-action weapon. Witek 094 is one of them, choosing the Bachatali 25-ton as the tool of the trade. The map is Live Oaks on the EU server, and our sniper starts the match by sprinting towards an ambush position. But this time even the bat isn't fast enough to get there before the enemy. The hunter becomes the hunted, and Witek takes a beating before getting away. Into the city then. The sniper puts a shell into a distant Waffenträger and pounces on an E75. Tunnel vision is the danger here, and the heavy tank's allies very nearly end this run here and now. Okay, reloaded and recentered. The sniper is the one who deals out the hits, not the one who takes them. Let's see Witek try this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Much better. Reloaded. Let's try the big one again. That's more like it. There's no point in reloading with 3 shells ready to fly, and there are plenty of enemies to choose from. This one will do nicely. The allies have been given some breathing room, and the sniper can get back to shooting from range. Witek reloads and moves to engage the Centurion. 3 shells take care of the enemy, and it's time to open up the distance again. Ambushing the enemies from their own base is quite cheeky. The Conqueror dies while facing the wrong way, and the enemies are down to an E75. The ally dives in first, leaving the sniper free to swoop in and end the game with a single accurate shot. Victory with 8 kills. Nicely done, sniper. The start was almost a total disaster, but you rallied magnificently and carried the day. Congratulations! With good timing, an invader can snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. Samurai 696 from the EU region takes the WZ-111 into Windstorm and tries to do just that. Samurai joins a push up the northern passage and fights to punch your way through. Battle goes well, and the raiding party clears the way to the enemy base. There are no enemies in the immediate vicinity. Some instinct tells the invader to stay in the circle and secure the win, even as the allies go looking for more things to kill. Samurai keeps fighting from the circle and knocks out another enemy tank. When their cap is halfway, the enemies are in a 5-3 lead. Moments later, the last 2 allies wink out and the invader's instincts have been proven correct. It's all down to Samurai now. The SU is spooked into taking a bad shot, and that means the enemies are out of time. Victory with a perfectly timed capture. This is the Heart of the Invader award. Samurai's instinct was right on the money, and that Kalabanov's medal is well deserved. Congratulations, Invader! The next replay comes from the North American region, and once again the map is Windstorm. Kano lands the ST-1 in a Tier 10 battle and goes for a crucial contribution. The STA peeks out, pings a shot off the enemy, and takes a massive hit in return. Front and center didn't work so well, so Kano relocates and takes more cautious shots. A T-49 receives several shells and a Tier 9 artillery piece is finished off. Kano moves and skirmishes, fighting enemies on both sides. Soon the kill tally is up to 3, and many others have been damaged. Killing the super heavy tank requires a second try, but the American Tier 10 is softer. That's 3 Tier 10s and 2 Tier 9s taken out with a bottom tier tank. The Lorraine is dug in too well, but the Tier 10 autoloader gets several punishing hits. That just leaves the Lorraine, but it's on the other side of the map and dies before Kano can get to it. It's a victory! That clash in the city was where the game was won or lost, with the Tier 8 carrying the team to victory. Congratulations, Kano! For the finale, we have a dynamic duo from the North American region, as Procura in the Centurion Mark 7/1 and Prowler in the M46 pattern take on the world. The battleground is steppes, and their tanks are on top tier. The platoon mates head west and drive straight into the war of attrition. Prowler breaks away to intercept a flanking 1390 and takes care of it with 2 well-placed shots. Procura puts a shell into a T-54 and follows it up by taking out another AMX scout. The situation is looking pretty grim. The enemies are in a 5-point lead, and the Allied force is getting enveloped. The platoon mates fight on with grim determination, keeping enemies at bay at 2 directions. Procura is attacked by a T-25/2 and ends up in a desperate fight against 2 tank destroyers. Both players have a desperate fight on their hands, and no way to assist each other. Both of them come out on top in the end, but their tanks are now 1 hit from death. Together again, and the game is now 2 against 2. The platoon heads out on an arty hunt and end up sharing the kill. The AT-15 has almost 1,000 hit points, but a couple of long-range shots reduce it to 1-hit status as well. Prowler keeps a gun aimed at its hiding place while Procura drives to its flank and puts in the final shell. Victory! That's 9 kills for the platoon, with a very nice comeback from a grim situation. Congratulations to the brothers in arms! That's it for today. You know, I never got on with the British TD line. They're just too slow for me. Rush into battle and die first is my motto. See you next week.